Starting a game studio is very easy. All you need is a flashy logo, a cool name, and maybe some business cards, and you're off to the races. But actually making it profitable, or at least not burning through too much money immediately, is a completely different story. The moment you want to start hiring employees, working together with other external people, it becomes a lot more difficult. We've been officially incorporated for a bit over a year at this point, and we've been working as a game studio for almost 2 years at this point. So I figured I'd sit down and talk a bit more about the things that I wish that I knew before we started our studio. But I think before I dive into the things I wish I knew, there's something that I want you to know first, and that is that not everyone should start a studio. Some people have this amazing dream of game development where they quit their day job that was like boring and soul-sucking, they start making games in a vibrant community, and then the moment they upload it to Steam and their like dream game after 9 months of development, they're gonna get rich, they're gonna earn millions, and they can retire. That's not how it works. Game development is one of the hardest industries basically to get into, I feel. So it's not for everyone. And I want you to really know that. There's a lot of people who like game development, but that I believe they should keep doing it as a hobby. Because I don't know if you like see it, because I have like this 4K camera. I have eye bags, and that's not just because I have a very bad mattress to sleep on. There's a lot of things that come into account the moment you start going pro, that a lot of developers simply aren't ready for, or simply aren't even looking for. They just wanted to make games. They don't want to deal with taxes. They didn't want to deal with like going to publishers and pitching their games. And that's fine as well. And something else is maybe that you don't really have a good team. Before you start a studio, have a solid team. That's something that we didn't have, for example. We were 4 programmers, which is probably one of the worst possible compositions as a studio, because suddenly I was the worst programmer. Well, I guess I was the artist now, which has truly impacted how great our games could perform. Because if you look at Forge industry, whilst we do have some people who say that, hey, I like this game's looks, most of the people say that the game looks horrible. And I can't fully disagree with them, because I never got like an artist training. I never even had that much of an affinity with art, which really hampered how far we could grow. So before you start that studio, I really want you to think, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to go pro with your games, or do you just want to stick to it like pretty chill right now and you'll figure it out later? There's nothing wrong with that, and I won't judge you. You don't need a studio to be a game developer. Better yet, I have even more respect, I feel, if you just can admit that, hey, I like making games. Maybe if they make a bit of money, that's cool, but I'm not doing this as a career. All right, that was just a little like side note I had. If you have decided that you want to go pro, you want to have that studio, then I have some tips for you. And the first piece of advice that, I mean, we kind of knew, but I think a lot of other developers don't really know, is don't get incorporated immediately. A lot of people, they indeed get the flashy logo, they maybe get a website, and then they go to their local accountant and they're like, I want to start an LLC or whatever is the equivalent in your country. And then they start developing their first game, which could take between like a few months to like a few years. I strongly advise against that. Personally, we only started our company basically right the moment that we needed to, when we needed the tax number to start our Steam page and to go to an event to showcase our game. Up until then, we spent about 8 months of development time without an LLC, without any kind of official company structure yet. This has saved us a lot of money, because the moment you start that LLC, you're going to have to pay a lot of money to like accountants or like notaries, lawyers, things like that, that you should just hold off on as long as possible, because that will eat into your runway. I'll get into those boring things in a second as well, but I quickly wanted to give you that timeline as well. Only start the company a month before you feel like you're actually going to need it. Next up, if you want to make a studio, there are 3 main character traits you're going to either have to learn to develop, or you're already going to need to have. And that's patience, resilience, and persistence. I've made videos before about how making games isn't a game, and honestly, you need to know that your first game is probably going to fail. And even if it's a success, that usually means it'll only make a few $1,000s. Not enough to retire, and barely even enough to recoup like all of the time and effort you spent into your game. And that's if you're successful. There's also plenty of games that sell like 5 copies and then disappear into Steam because they didn't manage to reach 10 reviews. And this is normal. Don't worry about it too much, but it is going to suck when that happens. And all of game developers aren't prepared for that, and they're just gonna pack up and go back to their old job and be like, we gave it our best and let's continue. But you didn't give it your all, because you should have known that making games, your first one is going to fail. Your second one probably isn't going to be that much of a success either. And maybe your third one or your fourth one is the one where you'll actually start like making profits and you can like sustain yourself more comfortably. And you're not like scrambling by to just survive, really. I really had to learn this one because I went in with these rose-colored glasses of, hey, we're gonna make Forge Industry and it's going to be an awesome game. It shouldn't take that long to develop. We've got the idea nailed down. And then once it releases, we're probably gonna be like the next Timberborn and we're gonna be very well known. We'll do some great YouTube marketing. That one kind of turned out in the end. And then, yeah, we'll just become chill game developers. That's not what happened. And I've learned now that that is normal and that we should move on. And we'll be announcing our next game soon, like our progress or like our first devlog at least. So stick around for that one. I know that that one probably also isn't going to be the biggest success. I feel like it will be a better one just because of all the things I've learned already, but it still won't be epic. And a lot of developers don't know this. They don't have that faith and they don't have that time buffer where they can actually sustain themselves for that long. A lot of people I see also, they never even release their first game. They go in with a 3-year development cycle and then after 1.5 years they realize, oh, we ran out of money. Guess we're just gonna pack up. And that actually brings me to the second point. Make sure that you plan your timelines for your first 3 games before you start. I always say that you're going to overscope, and one of the things that I always suggest you do is to, instead of having a scope first and then figuring out the timeline, figure out the timeline first and then see what kind of game you can probably make within that period. For your first game, I suggest you spend only between 6 to 9 months on it, because that should give you enough time to make something that is already relatively fun, quite playable, but also doesn't take up too much time before you can make any money back. Because from the day you start working on your game up until the day you release it, the first game, you probably won't be making anything. Once you've got that first game out, you'll be having some residual sales from it and that can help you with funding the future games, but getting that first game out is the hardest. So keep the timeline for that one short, 6 to 9 months. Then for your second game, go for 6 to 12 months, depending on like how much success you had and what are the things that you've learned along the way. And then only then, after you've released 2 games already, I suggest going for your bigger game, which should take anywhere between 12 months and 18 months to really get finished. I've said before in other videos, don't start with your dream game or don't get an overscope game that takes 5 or 7 years to finish. That's not worth it and that's not going to work out in a business sense. It's really hard because if you have to fund 8 years of development, it's going to be an impossibly high amount of games that you'll have to sell at that point. Okay, completely changing topics now. Don't undervalue good tools. This is something I've talked a lot with my business partner Thomas as well. Some of the biggest mistakes we made was undervaluing what good tools could do for us. We had this problem multiple times with our first game Forge Industry, with for example our localization system, or with our way of item creation, where they were very slow and inefficient to do these processes. To like change a localization, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes to just change a single entry, because I have to start up a CSV editor. It's an enormous text file that takes a while to get parsed and it's just not great. Similar with our items, we just had a giant folder of scriptable objects that we had to change in the inspector, instead of having some tools using something like Odin for easy making of custom tools in Unity to help us with that. Or even just making your own tools. Doesn't even have to be from asset, but make sure that there really isn't a better solution that is like already pre-made kind of, that you can tap off from and like improve upon your own way. These systems should take some time to develop. There's no problem in spending a month on making systems that will make sure that in the end it's going to save you 3 months of development time, because you won't be building upon spaghetti code or you won't be doing very monotonous and boring work because you did a wrong implementation back in the beginning of your development cycle. As I say, making your first game is going to be an enormous learning experience usually, and you're going to be making a lot of mistakes. By spending some time on tooling, you should be able to cut down on that. There's also this really great quote, I forgot from who, I'll like post it in the edit somewhere, but it's like, if I had 6 hours to chop a tree, I would spend the first 5 hours sharpening the axe. Making that custom tooling is basically sharpening the axe and allowing you to work much more efficiently when it comes down to actually making the game. And then lastly, don't ignore the boring stuff. Things like taxes will have to get done. Or even things like going to networking events. A lot of game developers just want to make their game, or they just want to make the art for it, or like program their mechanics and make their own engine. But just from that, we are still a real business, and at some point the government is gonna come knocking asking for some money, or at some point there's going to be a lawyer that needs to be involved in like some legal dispute, or you're going to be hiring an employee. You can't just be like, hey, I'm gonna give you this money cash at the end of the month and like work for us. Don't ignore these things. They can kill your business. I always suggest, even if it may seem very expensive up front, get an accountant. It's gonna save you so much money in the end, because you can do your own taxes, sure. But if you make one mistake, it will come back like 1.5 years later, where you get a fine from the tax office because you like miscategorized an item that you shouldn't have written off on the business. And it's gonna cost you like way too much money, and it's probably gonna cause your company to burn through its runway much quicker, or even just immediately have to shut down. You don't want something so simple and so stupid to actually end your game dev career, and that is just worth spending some money on. Also, accountants usually, if you get a good one, aren't that expensive. If you get one that has like a lot of digital processes, so they don't have to do that much manual work anymore, which is what we have now, it saves so much time compared to older traditional accountants where you had to like actually give them your invoices and receipts. And I used to have one of these old school ones and were so expensive. We now have one that has like a lot of digital dashboards, and it's not really that expensive, and they can help you so much in like making sure that your business stays afloat, and you're actually also spending money in the most like smart way. So this is a relatively basic video, I know, but of course I also don't know your situation. So what I always say in videos like this is, if this video really applies to you and you are currently deciding, should I start a studio, yes or no, shoot me an email. There's coachme@bitemegames.com. I'm still doing it. If you have a question about game dev or about your studio, tell me like what's the situation you're in. The mails go directly to me, completely free, nothing, no strings attached. I'll sit down with you and we'll see, what should you do? Should you start a business? How should you approach it the best way? I really want to help you guys. I really want to inspire other game developers, because it's really nice at this point with the scale we're at to have people who know me and who are like, hey, you fueled my game dev dream. And I want as many game devs to be there as possible, but I also don't want any game devs to unnecessarily start a studio and rent an office and then burn through their runway in about 4 months and then have to give up on their dream. Anyways, that's all I really have to say. I hope you learned something useful. If you're new around here, we're game developers. We've made our own game Forge Industry, which is a resource automation game, and we've documented the journey basically of being a game developer. If you're interested into like the behind the scenes of how does a game dev studio works, and also get a more unfiltered look at, the ups and downs of game development, be sure to head down below and subscribe, as it really helps us out, and you get these videos twice a week. So it's a win-win for both of us. That's all I really had to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!